on Earth, not thousands of years ago, but 400,000 years in the past. The world is almost unrecognizable. Huge glaciers cover much of northern Europe. Massive mammoths roam frozen grasslands. Woolly rhinoceroses wander across endless plains. Lions, hyenas, and saber-toothed cats still hunt across continents. Human civilization does not exist. No cities, no roads, no farms, only survival. This is the story of two human species, one destined to disappear and one destined to inherit the Earth. In Europe, a powerful human lineage is beginning to evolve. Strong, resilient, perfectly adapted to cold climates. These are the Neanderthals. Thousands of kilometers away in Africa, another branch of humanity is slowly taking shape. More slender, more adaptable, curious beyond imagination. These are Homo Sapiens, our own species. For hundreds of thousands of years, their worlds remain separated. Neither knows the other exists. But history is quietly preparing a meeting, one that will forever change the future of humanity. Scene 2, Europe is harsh. Winter lasts for months. Temperatures plunge far below freezing. Food is never guaranteed. Only the strongest survive. Neanderthals evolved to meet this challenge. Their bodies become shorter, yet incredibly muscular. Their bones grow thick. Their chests become broad. Their noses enlarge, helping warm, icy air before it reaches their lungs. Every feature is an adaptation, a masterpiece crafted by evolution. Life is dangerous. Each hunt risks death. Yet Neanderthals become expert hunters. Working together, they surround mammoths, drive bison toward cliffs, and confront giant animals with remarkable courage. Without teamwork, none of it would be possible. Scene 3. While Europe freezes, Africa tells a different story. Its environments constantly change. Savannas become forests. Forests become deserts. Rain comes, then disappears. To survive here, flexibility becomes the greatest weapon. Homo sapiens evolved to solve problems. Instead of becoming stronger, they become smarter. Instead of adapting only their bodies, they adapt their ideas. Every new challenge becomes an opportunity. New hunting methods emerge. New tools appear. Communication improves. Knowledge begins passing from one generation to another, faster than ever before. Something extraordinary is beginning. Scene 4. For thousands upon thousands of years, these two human species live completely separate lives. The Neanderthals know nothing of Africa. The Homo sapiens know nothing of Europe. Entire generations are born, allowed to live and die, never imagining another kind of human exists. Yet evolution never stops. Each species continues changing, learning, adapting, improving. Their futures slowly move toward one inevitable meeting. Neither side realizes history is counting down. Scene 5. Around 70,000 years ago, something remarkable happens. Groups of Homo sapiens begin leaving Africa. No one knows exactly why. Perhaps climate changed. Perhaps food became scarce. Perhaps curiosity itself pushed them forward. Whatever the reason, the journey begins. Families cross rivers, climb mountains, walk through deserts. Generation after generation, they continue moving. No maps, no roads, only instinct. Each step carries humanity farther into unknown lands. Ahead, beyond distant mountains, lives another human species. Soon, their worlds will collide. Scene 6. For hundreds of thousands of years, they lived in separate worlds. Now, those worlds finally meet. Somewhere in the Middle East, two groups of humans lock eyes. Neither group has ever seen people quite like the other. The Neanderthals are shorter, powerfully built, with broad shoulders and thick limbs. The Homo sapiens stand taller, with lighter bodies and narrower faces. For a long moment, no one moves, no one speaks. Only the wind crosses the valley. Fear, curiosity, confusion, all exist together. Will they fight? Will they run? Or will they discover something neither species expected? History does not give us every answer, but it tells us one thing. This meeting changed humanity forever. Scene 7. Movies often imagine endless battles. Reality was probably far more complicated. Sometimes these groups may have competed, Both hunted the same animals. Both needed shelter. Both searched for water. But competition was only part of the story. Modern DNA reveals something astonishing. These human species did not only meet, they formed families. They had children together. Even today, many people outside Africa still carry a small percentage of Neanderthal DNA. A living reminder that these ancient encounters were real. Instead of complete separation, their stories became connected. Not as strangers, but as relatives, scene 8. Although closely related, the two species solved problems differently. Neanderthals created impressive tools, strong, reliable, effective. They understood their environment deeply. Homo sapiens kept experimenting. Stone blades became thinner, bone became needles, animal skins became better clothing, small innovations slowly accumulated. Each invention saved time, saved energy, improved survival. Even more important, ideas spread quickly. Knowledge became something that could grow instead of starting over every generation. Innovation became humanity's greatest weapon. Scene 9. Nature itself now enters the story. The climate begins changing again. Temperatures fall, then rise, then fall once more. Forests disappear. Grasslands spread. Animals migrate. Food becomes unpredictable. Every season brings new danger. The Neanderthals, perfectly adapted for one environment, now face a rapidly changing world. Meanwhile, Homo sapiens continue adjusting, changing hunting methods, exploring new regions, inventing better solutions. In difficult times, flexibility becomes survival, and survival determines the future. Scene 10. Then, something extraordinary happens. Over thousands of years, Neanderthals slowly disappear. Not overnight, not in one great battle. Their numbers simply grow smaller. One valley falls silent. Another cave is abandoned. Generation after generation, their population shrinks. Until, around 40,000 years ago, the last Neanderthals vanish. But why? Were they defeated? Did changing climates overwhelm them? Did they merge into Homo sapiens through interbreeding? Or was it a combination of many different forces? Scientists continue searching for the answer, because solving the mystery of the Neanderthals is also the story of how our own species came to dominate the Earth. Scene 11. Europe is changing, and food is becoming harder to find. The great herds no longer follow predictable paths. Winters grow longer, summers become shorter. Every successful hunt means another week of life. Every failed hunt brings hunger. Now, two human species compete for the same resources. The Neanderthals know every cave, every valley, every migration route. But Homo sapiens arrive with something different: larger social networks, better communication, and the ability to share ideas across distant groups. When one group discovers a new hunting method, others soon learn it. Knowledge spreads almost as quickly as people themselves. In a changing world, that advantage may have made all the difference. Scene 12. As darkness falls, a small fire lights the night. To us, a campfire seems ordinary. But for early humans, it meant everything. Fire brought warmth, protection from predators, cooked food, light in endless darkness. Around these flames, families gathered. Hunters shared experiences. Children watched, listened, and learned. Stories became lessons. Lessons became traditions. Traditions became culture. Every generation inherited not only tools but knowledge. This invisible inheritance would become one of humanity's greatest strengths. Scene 13. For centuries, the Neanderthals seemed completely lost. Then modern science uncovered an incredible secret. Inside ancient bones, researchers found preserved DNA. When they compared it with our own, the results were astonishing. Many people alive today, especially those whose ancestors lived outside Africa, carry Neanderthal genes. Teeny pieces, passed down across thousands of generations. Their species may have disappeared, but part of them still lives. Inside millions, even billions of people today, the Neanderthals are not entirely gone. Their story continues within us. Scene 14. For many years, scientists underestimated the Neanderthals. They were often portrayed as primitive, brutish, unintelligent. But discoveries tell a different story. Evidence suggests they cared for injured companions. Even those unable to hunt, some buried their dead. Others decorated themselves with feathers, shells, or pigments. These behaviors reveal something deeply human: compassion, memory, symbolism, perhaps even grief. The line separating them from us is far thinner than people once imagined. Scene 15. Imagine being among the last of your kind. The valleys grow quieter each year. Familiar faces disappear. Old hunting grounds are empty. Children become fewer. The songs around the Fira fade into silence. No one knows the name of the final Neanderthal. No one knows where they took their last breath. But somewhere, around 40,000 years ago, the last member of an ancient human species looked, scene 16. Imagine being among the last of your kind. The familiar voices grow fewer each season. The hunting parties become smaller. The caves that once echoed with laughter now sit silent. Children are no longer born as often. Old traditions begin to fade. No one knows whether the last Neanderthal understood what was happening. Perhaps, to them, life simply continued, one day after another, one hunt after another, completely unaware that an entire branch of humanity was nearing its end. The last Neanderthal may have looked across the same stars we see tonight, never knowing they would be the final witness to their people. Scene 17, but extinction was not the end. When Neanderthals and Homo Sapiens had children together, they left behind something extraordinary: a genetic gift. Today, scientists have discovered that many people living outside Africa carry small pieces of Neanderthal DNA. Those ancient genes still influence us. Some affect our immune systems, others may influence how our bodies respond to cold or even certain diseases. The Neanderthals are gone, but they were never completely erased. A small part of them lives within millions of people alive today. Their story has become part of ours. Scene 18. So what gave Homo sapiens the advantage? It may not have been strength, it may not have been speed. Instead, it may have been imagination, the ability to tell stories, to share knowledge, to teach children, to cooperate with people beyond immediate family. Every new idea could spread through an entire community for generations. Ideas became stronger than muscles. Knowledge became more valuable than size. And cooperation became humanity's greatest survival tool. Scene 19. For many years, people believed Neanderthals were primitive, less intelligent, almost animal-like. Modern science tells a very different story. They cared for injured family members. They buried some of their dead. They created tools with remarkable skill. They survived one of the harshest environments on Earth. They were human, just not our species. The story of Neanderthals is not the story of failure. It is the story of another successful branch of humanity, one that thrived for hundreds of thousands of years before history took a different path. Their achievements deserve to be remembered. Scene 20, tonight, as you look into the night sky, remember this: our species was never alone. For most of human history, other humans walked beside us. They hunted, they laughed, they loved their families, they faced fear, hope, and uncertainty just as we do today. The Neanderthals disappeared, but their memory remains in ancient caves, in buried bones, in our DNA, and perhaps in the questions we continue to ask about who we are and where we came from, because understanding their story helps us understand our own. The next time you hear the word human, remember it once meant far more than a single species. And somewhere in every step humanity takes, the echoes of the Neanderthals still walk beside us.